Hello everyone, welcome to 5th episode of SaaS Masterclasses, which focus on growth. I represent customer acquisition and experience at NetSmarts. I will definitely talk about how we perceive customer satisfaction, what should you derive out of customer satisfaction, how to measure it, and perhaps what should be your operations playbook from the word go. Think about customer, satisfaction as an outcome of your tech stack that you've employed for customer service, and obviously how well trained your agents are to respond to different queries. If you want to measure customer satisfaction, you have to delve into Net Promoter Score, CSAT scores, customer effort score, and then the retention rate. I'll try and simplify each of those. When you think about Net Promoter Score, think about your customer as a brand ambassador, whether they would recommend your product to their friends and family or not. There are three types of customers essentially. The first one is a promoter. This is like 9 on 10 or 10 on 10 sort of a person. They are passives. These guys are generally between 7 to 8, and then there are detractors, which are between 0 to 6. Net Promoter Score should be thought about a percentage subtraction between promoters and detractors. Nevertheless, think about your CSAT score as that metric which is immediately after a conversation. So that single interaction, how was it perceived? What is the experience after the purchase, or what is the overall perception built after talking to one of your folks, or even one of your bots. Customer effort score. It is a measure of how easily your customer can complete a task to get the desired result out of your product or service. We will also talk about retention over here. One of the main reasons why retention rate is important is because that is a direct indication of the lifetime value that your customer is going to have. Also enables you to predict that if you have X amount of customers, what is the customer lifetime value you are going to derive out of them. All in all the metrics are pretty important to give you a measure of how satisfied your customers are. How do they perceive of your company, how the interactions went, and ultimately what are the thoughts about your company and product as a whole. The end goal is for them to give people a word of mouth, be your brand ambassadors, and be in absolute love with the product that they use. I definitely focus on a couple of essentials in a playbook I'm going to share with you, and hopefully these are going to help you carve out your rest of the Q4 in this year and plan better for 2025. Starting with the very basics, if you have a designated geography or multiple geographies that you guys work in, you really need to ensure that your teams cover the time zones that your product is delivering in. There is a high amount of churn in customer support, in success, and this is a very unfortunate situation, but in your business you can't help but to provide for that situation. One of the ways that you can effectively do so is that be prepared for having a very exhaustive learning management system which is robust and which is critical in case of prepping up your new hires and people who are going to cover base for your superstars when they're on a leave or somebody is called in sick or something happens which rocks the boat. Having an automation strategy and being AI savvy really helps. In this time of technology, in this era of automation and AI, there are a lot of products out there which don't just give you service in the way of text, but there are a lot of voice AI bots also coming out which literally talk like a human. Leverage them to the very best. At least that is going to cover your frequently asked questions and then the volume of tickets that come by. And obviously there is a lot of analysis that you can get out of them because these are bots essentially. Think about human agents like your go-to folks for tailored solutions, handling something that AI and bots cannot. Definitely focus on empathy, even when training bots for your special use case. Obviously, it's relatively little easier to explain the context and then give a perception to a human agent, but bots may require training. Just ensure you have that in place. Responsiveness, continuous, well-targeted customer satisfaction service is the key for you to continuously have a pulse on how your customers are perceiving the product, and if they're liking it, disliking it, loving it, or they could do if you could change certain things for them. On that note, I'm going to leave you at that and then let you think how you want to craft your playbook for 2025. The goal is for your customers to be happy and stick with you for a very long time. Signing off until we meet next.